Hey everyone, Luke from SafetyWise. This video, I just wanted to talk a little bit about recruitment in the safety industry. I saw an advert just this morning which absolutely fascinated me. It was for basically a safety advisor role. So not a manager, had no direct reports. It was one person that sat in a team and reported to a safety manager. And I don't remember the exact title, but it was a fairly senior title that they were reporting to. And you read through the job description and it was advising is the long and short of it for this particular organisation. So non-manager role. So what were the requirements? And I found this fascinating. They needed 3 years of safety experience. That's fine. I would expect that for a safety advisor role, something like that. To me, it could be an entry level role, that sort of thing. But then on top of that, they needed 5 years of management experience. And I found that interesting. So we want someone who's going to advise with no management responsibility per se, in terms of direct reports and that type of things. So 3 years safety experience, 5 years management experience. But then they want this person to have a bachelor's degree in safety. And I thought, this is really interesting. Again, reiterate, 3 years safety experience, 5 years management experience, and a bachelor's degree, but you're not responsible for the department, you're not responsible for managing people. Is there a disconnect in what organisations are expecting? This job, big global business, if I was to rattle off the name, every single person who watches this video will know this organisation. I 100% guarantee it. It doesn't mention salary range. So again, my assumption is the salary would match the level of the role, safety advisor. Why on earth do we have these sort of criterias? And I've seen this in numerous industries. Mining, I think, is a really interesting one for this. We put in safety roles and emergency response roles, that sort of stuff. And you need diploma with this, advanced diploma with that. You need paramedicine, you need mines emergency response, you need this, and this. By the time you get through the criteria, there's 25 competencies and 7 qualifications sitting there. Again, is that realistic, or have we got this expectation that some unicorn's just going to march through the door and is going to meet that criteria? If I go back to this advert, is there a disconnect? We want all this experience and all these qualifications, but we're only offering an entry-level role, or we're offering a role with minimal responsibility as such. Again, I'm really curious on your thoughts on this. I'd love to hear it. I've been on the receiving end of this sort of stuff, where I've sat in interviews with a recruiter for a particular job and I smashed the criteria, but I wasn't employed in the industry that they were looking for, and they could not see a correlation at all, no matter how hard I explained it, of what my experience and skills would bring to that organisation, because I wasn't at that stage in that industry. And again, there's a disconnect. I've also sat in interviews where the interviewers are not safety people. And I've got to be honest, there's a few recruitment companies out there that claim to specialise in safety for recruitment and so forth, and they don't understand the terminology. They don't understand the lingo. They don't understand the key parts of the role. They couldn't tell you the difference between a risk assessment, a take 5, and a JSA and a SWIMS, that sort of stuff. And yet, these are the first, what's the word I'm looking for? These are the first elimination, or the first line of, of trying to get through that, or the gatekeeper, that's the word I'm looking for. I couldn't think then what it was. They're the gatekeeper that gets you into the next stage of the interview, and yet they don't necessarily understand what the role is and what it is we do. I'd love to hear your experience. I know I'm not alone in this one. I know loads of people are going to have food for thought on this and add some comments. I'd love to hear it. Drop them in the comments below. Thanks for that.